Hello, everyone, and welcome to Voice Fusion. I'm Michelle Westgate, District 38's Program Quality Director. As a heads up, we will be recording this session today. Please put your questions in the chat, and Freddie will address these periodically throughout the session. We may have a few moments at the end where you can ask directly. I want to thank all of you for being here and participating today. Now, let's welcome our speaker, Freddy Jackson, presenting his workshop, Love, No Ego, The Courage to Be You.
Mhm.
Freddie is an inspirational speaker, educator, author, and founder of the Love No Ego Foundation. He specializes in social emotional learning, some of you know that as SEL, health and wellness, and leadership development. His work helps people strengthen their motivation, overcome ego driven behaviors, and take meaningful action in their lives. He has led workshops, mentoring programs, and consultations for individuals, teams, and organizations across the country and internationally. His engaging approach helps people build resilience, reduce stress, and improve performance in any field. Freddie, we're excited to have you here today. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Anytime we get to be in front of each other, I know it's virtually, but anytime we get to be in front of each other and be intentional about what we're learning and sharing, like I get like super excited. Like my shoes are off right now. If you guys want to kick your shoes off, kick them off. Just get really comfortable. And I like to say, let's allow love to do what it does, right? It's already there. Like, so let's just tap into it, show up as our best authentic selves, and see what we can get out of it. Life is simple. Don't make it complex, right? All right, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. All right. Everybody can see that, right? Everybody see that? Yeah, okay. Let me close this up here. All right. So, guys, a little bit more about me, just some bullet points. Just some bullet points. So, I'm a native of Buckingham County. It's a small town in central Virginia. One stoplight is flashing 24 hours a day type of town. Former college athlete. I'm a former music artist, life skills coach, former life skills coach, counselor, and case manager with this company called Three Rivers Youth in Pittsburgh when I was there. Have a Bachelor of Arts in Journalism, Radio Broadcasting, Master of Arts in Psychology, Second Master of Arts in Organizational Development and Leadership Psychology, certified personal trainer and health coach of about 17 years now. Event MC, people started asking me to MC their event, and I just said, yes, it's fun. So I went ahead and added that to the bullet points as well. I'm wilderness first aid certified. I love being in nature. I love being in nature. It speaks the truth. It's just we wouldn't be alive without it. Let's just keep it real. And we take kids out with the nonprofit Love No Ego Foundation. We take kids out. 95% of what we do is in nature. So that wilderness first aid certified comes in handy. Educator in Albemarle County Public School Systems, YMCA board member, Piedmont Discovery Center board member, created this program, a co-created this program called Elements of Peace. We're in our second year. It's a summer program to get kids outside in the elements and find peace in those elements and as well as within themselves. I'm an author of two books and of course a founder of the Love No Ego Foundation. Now, guys, you see that cool little dude there, which may be to your left with the 28-piece suit on there. Yes, 28 pieces, a lot of pieces to that suit. But that's me as a kid. And of course, I put this here on purpose because I wanted you guys to actually think, the name of this presentation is Love, No Ego, the Courage to Be You. So you remember when you were a kid, let's think back. I know some of us have to think back a little further than others, but think back and just even visualize the kids that you see today, you know, and how free they are, how free you were, how curious you were. Naturally, You were happy naturally. Somebody actually had to come along and make you sad. You know, it's like usually an adult, you like kind of over here messing around, you putting your fingers in outlets and stuff, and they're like, no, don't do that. Uh, and then, I wonder what happens because it kind of flips as an adult. It's almost like we're looking for something or someone to make us happy, and does that mean that we're sad now? Uh, so that's just worth, I think, looking at. As a kid, you were already happy, curious, free, that sense of freedom, and someone had to make you sad. Now, as an adult, you're looking for that thing, that scarcity mindset, looking for something actually outside of yourself to come along and make you happy. Just ponder on that for a little while as we move through this presentation. And this goes into an explanation of why I'm here. I like to say, guys, we're beautiful creatures. We're all human beings. Like we're beautiful, intuitive beings. And when I think about that and I think about why I'm here, I simply think of me as a reminder to remind you, like to help you remember what you already have. Like to remember what you already have. And as we go through this presentation, I'm trusting that that phrase will become more concrete, more digestible, easy to comprehend, and wow. And when you leave here, I want you ready to change the world because I need you. You need me. Like we have to have that courage to be ourselves. There's no one like you, for you, or after you. So how do we maximize that you? How do we do that? So I'm here to help you remember what you already had. And of course, I want to facilitate some positive behavior change. Not saying that you guys are negative. It's just that we're all trying to evolve here, right? I'm trying to evolve. You're trying to evolve. And we're just trying to show up as our best selves consistently. So we always want to be mindful of facilitating positive behavior change. All right. So in facilitating that, I want to ask you a question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now? Right now. Like I want you to hold that number. You can put it in the chat. Maybe we'll go in about 5 to 10 minutes, we'll look inside of that chat and view some of those numbers. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now? And I want you to consider what's stopping you from feeling a 10. If you are a 7, what makes up that other 3? What's stopping you from feeling a 10? That's me sitting on the beach there in Surf City, North Carolina. I watch the sunrise every single day. I probably get it about 360 days a year. I don't miss it too often. Even when it's rainy, snowy, whatever the case may be, I know it's there. And I like to get up and watch the sunrise. Why? Because it contributes to my happiness scale. It puts it all in reality for me. It helps me to understand what's real versus what we made up. It's a great place to start. That's me again here at a place called Humpback Rocks on the Blue Ridge Parkway in Virginia, watching the sunrise or the sunrise watching me, just enjoying nature and allowing myself to connect, be, before I actually go out into the world and start to do, right? So, guys, what does that say? It says, my happiness is my responsibility. It sounds very cliche, but it's so true. Responsibility, when you break that word down, it's all about your ability to respond. Responsibility. My happiness is my responsibility. So, this whole thing of love, no ego, we're going to get into this, but let's do a quick check in. Do we have any questions so far? What are we looking like, Michelle?
We have a lot of numbers.
Yeah, give me some of them, please.
Let's see, we have 6, 5, a couple of 8s.
Mhm.
Um, we have a couple of 9s. We do have a 5 due to a death in the family.
Mhm.
So grief obviously affects us.
Yes.
And I put in that I'm looking for a job, so that kind of dings me a little bit too.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, guys, thanks for sharing those numbers. There are some things in life, not saying that they're not supposed to affect us, but I used to have a lot of fears about certain things, about losing my parents, about this, about that. And what I found to be the most effective, and I could still elevate on this space of joy, was I just started to work inside of those inevitables like things that I cannot change. I cannot change it, right? Do I still experience a little bit of fear here and there? Yes, of course I do, you know. But for the most part, I'm really riding high because, say, for an example, my dad got really sick, really sick. Uh, had some cancerous things going on, and it runs in my family. And I started to have this idea of maybe losing him, and it would keep me up at night. So to help combat that, I started to go see him once a week. And I've been doing that for about 9 years now. Once a week, I go see my parents. They live about 45 minutes away from me in Buckingham. I live in Charlottesville, Virginia. And I just go see him. He puts me to work. He has me changing light bulbs, splitting wood, putting brakes on the car, whatever he wants me to do, I'm engaged with pops, you know? And over time, I have learned to accept and really start to embrace who we are and the relationship that we have. And it's so much easier to accept that inevitable. I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that I still have it, you know? And I practice more in that space than I do in that fear space. It's just a practice. And that's what love, no ego is all about. We all know what love is. I'm sure you guys can riff off 100 words to describe that word love. But I want to sum it up for you. I really want to sum it up for you. Love is everything that we're designed to do and be here on this earth. Period. Everything that we're designed to do and be here on this earth. That ego, two things, which kind of simultaneously run together. Overly self-centeredness. Overly self-centeredness. I'm not saying don't think about yourself. I don't think we cannot not think about ourselves, but it's more about quantity and quality. I can think of myself less times without thinking less of who I am. Oh, that's a good pivot phrase. I think you guys should write that down. Pivot phrases are when you hear something, boom, it has the opportunity and possibility to change the direction of your life. Just because I think of myself less times doesn't mean I think less of who I am. And I'm paraphrasing that quote. I feel like, guys, everything that we've ever learned, good or bad, came from other humans. So I don't own any quotes and things of that sort. I hear things, I make up things. I'm operating in this love space. And when you do that, like, you'd be surprised what type of things you come up with. So one more time, just because I think less of who I am doesn't mean I think less of who I am. Did I say that right? But the ego, overly self-centeredness, and of course, fear. Fear pushes us into a corner and we start to doubt. We start to have this scarcity mindset. We start to have uh, mm, it hits me really hard. We start to have all of this confusion and chaos because of a baseline fear. And fear can push you into a corner and you end up making decisions that's not good for you. Does it serve you? Does it not serve you? And guys, all of us have an intuition. All of us have this knowing right here. Love tells me exactly what to do, even if that doing is, you know what, Freddie? Sit still for a minute. Don't react. It tells me when to speak up. It tells me when to be bold. It tells me when to go over here. Now don't mess with that. Like it tells me everything I need to know. I think every single one of us, you know how they say, I was called, he was the chosen one. I think all of us are chosen, but only a few of us listen. That's what makes the difference, I think. Of course, we're chosen. We're here. Like, I mean, you're here. You know, if you can see my watch, you see my watch? It says now. The time is now. It's always now. You can't be here yesterday. You, you can't be here tomorrow. You worry about yesterday. You bring yesterday into today, 5 years ago into the day. You're allowing the past to steal your present, the only place you can ever be. If things from the past are still bothering us, that means it's our duty, it's our responsibility to look at it. It might not have been our fault, but obviously it's our responsibility now, right? The future, it's an illusion. It never comes. It's never here. If I do my best, absolute best today, it's a great chance that tomorrow is going to be better or just maybe equally as better, as good, you know? The moment, the power of now, right now. That's a great book, by the way, Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So, love, no ego. Love is everything you're designed to do and be. Before you take it and attach it to something, recognize it here. Recognize it here. Ego is the one thing that can get in the way of everything you're designed to do and be. It limits communication, it blocks blessings, it limits opportunities. Guys, the courage should be you. Like I said, there's only one you. And as far as we know, we only get one of these life. We only get one. Why not maximize it? Why not try to maximize it? I don't even know if we know what that maximization even looks like, but we sure can move towards it and spend our lives moving towards it. Love, no ego. Let's check in. Questions?
We don't have any questions in the chat, so you must be right in tune with everybody here today.
Awesome. Guys, look at that slide. Life is simple. I embrace this simple phrase. And I embrace this next phrase. We make it complex. Life is simple. We make it complex. And what I mean by this, to elaborate a little bit deeper, what's been given to us, life, is very beautiful, isn't it? Like what's been given to us? Oh my goodness. Why do we make it so hard? You know, like why do we make it so hard? It's quite beautiful, but what you make of it could be a whole new, entirely different story, you know? So I want that to resonate. Pivot phrase, life is simple. We make it complex. How can you make your life more simple? If it's not simple for you, how can you make it more simple? How can you make it more peaceful? How can you make it more joyful? The more peaceful, the more joyful you are, I feel like the more impact you're going to have as a person, as a human being. Who you are with what you do, wow. You're talking about serious impact. I started removing a lot of things out of my life, guys, that wasn't serving me. Wow. And now I can watch the sunrise like out of 365 days a year. I get about 360 of them. Wow. Let me show you how simple it is, guys. I almost opened up the presentation with this slide right here just to see where you guys were. You know? But this is how simple this life is. Here we go. I'm going to name everything that's natural in the universe. That's one, universe. All right, here we go. Mountains, sun, planets, stars, oceans, wind, insects, rivers, space, animals, plants. Something came down at the bottom. I couldn't see it. Clouds, trees, water, weather, life. Oh, we're getting a little bit deeper here. Humans, spirit, intuition, energy, joy, peace, love. That's what I call love right there. Before I even attach it to something outside of myself, I recognize it right here. So when I show up to work, when I show up for my family, when I show up for whoever, wherever, I try to be in this space here of reality. This is reality. We call a lot of stuff that we make up like reality. You hear people on Sunday, oh, back to reality tomorrow. Gotta go, is that reality? Just asking the question, is that reality? Reality is changeless, you know? Just because we made it up and we can actually touch it doesn't mean it's reality. Every building, every car, everything that we've ever created as humans, what a beautiful gift, has been diminishing since the beginning of time, since the first day it was created. This building that I'm in right now won't be here forever. The building, the office that you're in right now won't be there forever. It's diminishing. So love, please recognize it within. You already have it. Remember, in the beginning, I said, I want to help you remember what you already have. You know, and you take that gift and you take that love and you extend it. That's what love, when you feel it, when you truly, truly feel it, it has to come out. It has to pour this way. It has to pour out. It can't be contained. We have to get our fears out of the way. We have to get our overly self-centeredness out of the way. We need to, I think we need to throw out our titles. I think we should take black, white, all that stuff off of applications. I really do. Because there's going to come a point in time where a generation is not going to know what that is. And they're going to start being human. And until then, yeah, we'll have some kickback and some fuss, but don't you want like the real change? How many laws and policies do we have to make up to cover up the previous policy, to cover up the previous law? All right, let's think about the unnatural things. I know we don't have but an hour, but I'm going to give you a little bit because the unnatural can go on forever and ever. Beautiful, beautiful things, but we'll get to them. All right, unnatural. Look at this. TV, airplanes, cars, books, instruments, some things I can't see, pencils, jewelry, sports. I can't see everything. Buildings, tires, processed foods. You guys are eating lunch right now, aren't you? Anybody got any processed food over there? Hey guys, so when I was 17, I got my first car, right? It's a 79 Mustang, Ford Mustang. And I lived in Buckingham, which I've shared with you. So when I got my car, I'm like, okay, I'm going to Charlottesville, big city. Here we come, you know? And I drive to Charlottesville. All I wanted to do was drive to Charlottesville and go to McDonald's. That's it. We didn't have no McDonald's and all that stuff, right? So I go to McDonald's, I get some French fries. a milkshake maybe, but I know I got the French fries. So I drive around, I come on back home, I'm excited, like I drove to the big city, woohoo, got my car, and I was about 6 months later, I was cleaning my car. And right down in between the seat and the middle console, guess what I saw? A couple of French fries. And I picked them up, I squeezed it and scratched my knuckles all up and stuff, and I got them out. And they looked exactly the same as I bought them about 6 to 8 months ago. They look so good, I almost bit it again. I almost took a bite. For real. And then that's when I realized like food should don't supposed to last that long. You know, I did grow up with a garden, so I had some knowledge of it. But in summary, like we're from the earth, I think I think it's cool to eat earthly. We're natural. Maybe we should try to eat as natural as possible. Just try, right? It helps us show us up as our best selves. When you put unnatural things in a natural environment, what happens? Dis-ease, stress, eventually disease. Dis-ease equals disease. Think about it. Okay, let's continue. Processed foods, tables, video games, social media, TikTok, Instagram, clocks, social status, America, money, government, phones, statues, Democrat, Republican, something I couldn't see, trucks. That's the world that we've created. That's all the stuff that we created. Not bad things. It's cool. But we don't know how to use the tools, evidently. We allow the tools to use us. Anywhere that I show up, I try to show up as a human first. Period. Period. I tell you what, when it's time for us to transition and leave this earth, you think we're going to care about any of those things on the outside? Do we want to have some conversations about Instagram and TikTok when you land on your deathbed? So why is it so important now? Think about it. And guys, as we move, like we are leaders, you guys are leaders. So when we go into these spaces, like I think we need to show up and show out and show up and show out in a way that the energy transcends the fear and the overly self-centeredness in the room. You know, everybody, we have the same goals. Like we have the same goals, guys. I just want to be the best person I can be. That's it. And in being the best person that we can be, I think we need to know, have a great sense of reality versus what we made up, truth versus illusions, love versus ego. Like, which space do you occupy? Which space do you spend most of your time in? You know, it's 12 noon or a little after 12. Just look back at your morning. What's the first thing you did this morning? What did you do after that? Like, think about it, break it down. It's an ego influenced world. And the state of our country right now, what's going on and all the fuss and stuff. You know, I hear about it. I don't have a TV. Uh, I haven't watched TV, guys, in probably, I don't know, 9 years. I mean, of course, I see things. I mean, it's quite impossible not to. And if it's that important, I'm sure it'll come across my cell phone or I'll hear about it. I already know what the news is going to say. They've been saying it for since the beginning of the time. I already know what they're going to say, what they're going to do. Why should I be engaged and entertained? So, about 9 years ago, me and my wife were sitting there in the living room, 40 some inch screen on TV on the wall there. I hadn't turned it on in about a year. And I looked at her, I said, babe, we haven't turned that TV on in a while. And she knows me, she knows I'll sell anything. We're not using it, it should go. You know, if it's been there 2 years and this thing has to go. So she was like, "You want to sell it, don't you?" I'm like, "Yeah," and all excited and giddy. And she said, "Okay, I don't care." So I took a picture of it right there on the wall. I put it on Craigslist. It was gone in like 20 minutes. But you know what else went with it? The $150 cable bill that was on auto renew and just paying it every month. I knew it, but it's just like I fell into this space of just, okay, whatever. Next thing you know, we have more plants in the house. We have more uh, conversations now. We have more dinner time together. The TV's just not on, it's mindlessly going. And we have more connection. So it created more space. It created more freedom. I'm not saying get rid of your TV. I'm just saying take a look at what's around you, how it's impacting you, because it's definitely impacting the way that we show up. You got to think about it. Since the day like we came out of the womb, even before then, wow, just stuff, messages, nonstop, nonstop. And any one of us answer this question honestly. Do we think it's going to stop? No. So obviously, we have to get better at how we respond. And we have to know and see truth and be the visionaries that we are. Your vision explodes and just your vision just does what it naturally does if we can dispel like the judgment. You know, when you look, when you see, if you're looking with vision, you're looking with reality. But if you're looking with to judge and blame, like if you're looking in that lens, it's very, very, very limited. Suspended judgment, whoa, opens up the vision. And think about who you're going to impact, including yourself. You know, think about that. So, love no ego. The courage to be you is really about that heart-led engagement and leadership. It truly, truly is. Guys, I put my hand on my heart sometimes when I get in a little chaotic little spell. I'm like, I take a breath and I go, this is the boss. This is the employee. Employee listens to the boss. Because usually when I get a little in that disruptive space, it's my mind. My mind has just grabbed something and just running off with it and telling me I need to do this. You should do that. You should get even. You should be mad. You should tell that person something. It's my brain, you know? And I've learned to like see it. There have been times, guys, when I was so frustrated and I developed this practice. Maybe you can use it. I'm in my chair. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm fearful. I'm scared. Whatever it is. I'm grieved. I'm heartbroken. Whatever it is. I'm set. I sit here. I take a breath. I get up and I walk across the room and I sit in another chair or sofa or whatever. And I act as if I left this person still here in this chair. But I'm over there and I'm looking at him. I'm like, look at him. He's mad. What is he mad for? And I start to see it all as it actually is, not how it should be, you know? And when you can release that judgment of how it should be, you get the freedom, you get the peace, you get the joy, you get the everything that you are already given. You know, think about it. Why do we go on vacation? Why do we meditate? You know, what are we trying to get back to? You know, like I said, you come out of the womb, you just spent 9, 10 months in this dark place. And the first thing in your face and in your eyes is the worst lights possible, fluorescent lights, right? And then we start moving from one box to the next. We go from the hospital to the car to the house to the room, maybe the room to the crib. And a few years later, we are back in another building in a box. And then we're in school and we're in the cubicle, and we're 45, 50 years old, and we're like, I need a vacation. Guys, I want you to create your life so you go on vacation every day you wake up. Like for real. It's possible. I don't know if I'm doing it, but it feels like it. I'm pretty close. you know? And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So love, no ego, heart-led engagement and leadership. That Courage to Be You is all about that. This is the boss. This is the employee. Make sure the employee listens to the boss. Pivot phrase, like don't let your employee run off and work for all these bosses that's not serving you, right? All right, check in. Questions, guys.
Just a few comments, people sharing what they had for lunch, and um, we did get a kudos, excellent points in the slide with the circle and the universe and all of that. So it looks like it's connecting with our attendees.
Awesome. Yeah, we got to keep it simple, guys. We got to get back to human. I think that should be a checkable box on applications. Everybody should check that first and then check the other stuff. We have to create some change that's real, or else we're just going to just doom the universe and doom the people that's coming behind us, you know? So let's get into this. Love, no ego, heart-led engagement, leadership, personal development. Guys, who are you? What soft skills do you have, right? Soft skills. Professional development, of course, there are those hard skills. When you align these two, which I think all of us as humans have the opportunity to do so, when you align who you are, what you are with what you do, oh my goodness. I'm talking heart full every day. You have to pour it out at night and get ready for the next day because it's going to be full again. You know, like think about this. Those soft skills, we often just kind of tune into the hard skills. At least the world shows you that. It's like what you do. You need this to fit in. You need this to be cool. You need to drink this beer to be cool. You need to watch this. You need to get this, buy this makeup. You need to get these shoes all the time. When compared to a more intimate message of intuitive you and human, there are very few. You have to search it out. When you drive down the road today, or the next time you drive, just look at the billboards and the signs like everywhere. You know, we talk about processed foods. Like you have to dig out. If you're traveling, you really have to put in some effort and energy to find something good to eat. Good being like natural, right? It's crazy. So personal development, professional development, they start to feed each other. And you start to have this beautiful, beautiful cycle of impact upon yourself and upon others, upon yourself and upon others, right? Like I said, everything that we've ever learned, good or bad, came from another human. So when we're intentional about this, it's beautiful. All right. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Gallup, but it's a company that does a global workplace report. And if I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to share this really quick. In the 2025 report, which is based on the previous year, 2024 would be out very soon. It might be out this week if it's not out already. But I like to look at that and follow them and read up on like just the state of the global workplace. And this is 2024, obviously reporting on 2023. 41% experiences high level stress at work, high level stress, like mental health decline. I need a psychiatrist. I need this. 41%. Over 160 countries. 20% increase in sadness and loneliness. A 1% increase in worldwide, I'm not thriving. I'm not thriving. So not feeling purposeful where they are. So employee well-being decline. Guys, I know society is set up in a way that it seems that work impacts life. Work impacts life. And I know that we know this, like life impacts work. But when you actually know it and you actually practice it, you really start to see it. The gratitude just comes just comes over you because you realize that you do have a beautiful life. And you also have an opportunity because you're here. to further and make that life even better and impact so many people around you. Like make such a beautiful difference. You know, just one being can impact millions, billions of people. And you don't have to think that big or anything, but love does what it does. It's going to go and do what it does. So we just have to do our best to kind of stay on that frequency. So love or ego, where are you living from? I always ask that question. I have a book. It's titled Love No Ego, Where Are You Living From? And it highlights those spaces like that fear space. I make that decision. Oh, this is a love space. I make that decision. Like, why? You know, the what you do is important, but the why is monumental. The why is what's going to keep you going. You know, they're printing money right now. Which if somebody's chasing money, they're printing money right now. I can get money. I can't get more time. They don't print that. You know, they don't print more time. So I like to ask that question. Where are you living from? What are you chasing? And you don't have to chase. You have to create the condition for what you want. It's nowhere in the world that I'm going to get and experience peace if I'm not being peaceful. There's no way I'm going to experience love if I'm not giving love. I can't run with a chaotic, mad, as a mad being and expect to have peace. My intuition and my knowing, reason, just simple reason tells me that. And I listen to it. So let me be peaceful because I want peace. Let me share love because I want love. You know? So where are you living from? I truly, truly know I've had some wonderful experiences. I truly, truly believe that courage, confidence, creativity. Let me move my bar here for a minute. Originality and freedom comes from love. It comes from your intuition. It's been given to you. It's been given to us already. You don't have to search. When I don't know what to do, I'm not afraid to sit still. I'm not afraid to be by myself. I'm not afraid. Guys, there was a time when I thought of this message. When this message came to me, there was a time in that transitional period where I was locking myself in the bathroom for about 120 seconds, 2 minutes at a time, just taking a 2 minute break. It started there, like, whew, I just locked myself in the bathroom and I sit. Didn't know what to do, but I knew I could do this. Okay, 2 minutes is up. I go back out. I'm doing things. I'll find 2 minutes later in the day. I do it again. That 2 minutes grew into 20 minutes, grew into an hour, grew into me watching sunrise every day. When you were created and conceived, like it was given to you. This is knowledge, what you have, right? It's knowledge. The mind is a lot of perception. And perception, the word perception in itself is just what you think. Doesn't mean it's true. Could be. But this is knowledge. Knowledge transcends the perception and it puts you in a space of surrendering. Surrender is a good thing. Surrender to what is a good thing. It puts you in a space of reality and it puts you in that space of love and gratitude. And it puts you in a position to impact so many people as well as yourself. And as we know, the ego is full of doubt, fear, scarcity. I can't see the rest. Did you guys see that? I want to make sure you see it. But it's a scarcity mindset. Overly self-centeredness and fears. Guys, think about it. If we didn't have conflict, the ego wouldn't even show itself. It wouldn't even come up. If we didn't have a conflict, the ego needs conflict to even be here. And it actually is never really here because it's always there or there. Because if you are here and you are now, Like the ego can't be in there. It has to be just outside or just in here and needs to infiltrate and steal your awareness, our awareness of the now. Because what you have cannot be stolen, but your awareness of it can be stolen. All right. So, guys, we got about 5 more minutes, and then I want to take some questions and talk and be dynamic with you guys. I want to give us plenty of time to connect. So I'm going to go through these really quick. It's 4 pillars that I share that I practice every single day, and it helps me show up to be my best self. So number one is spirituality. I didn't say religion. I'm saying spirituality. Religion is something, it's a tool you can practice that grabs your spirit and takes you on this journey to be your best self. If it's good, you're not hurting anybody, you're not killing anybody, including yourself. Beautiful, right? But spirituality, you feel, you cry, you laugh, you do. We do all these things and experience all these emotions. I'm just saying, learn how to pay attention to that. Period. Learn how to pay attention to that and allow that spirituality to grow and be seasoned. Education, it's not a one-time thing. I have 4, 5, 6 degrees. It's not a one-time thing. Just because we graduated doesn't mean we're done. So there are things that you can do in your professional world that can extend who you are as a human being. Whether that's getting a new certification, whatever that is, guys, you know what that is. Again, there's only one you, and you have that knowing, and you have to exercise that. Exercise. Great segue. Exercise, guys, we're made to move. We just got to move. You don't have to be a top-notch athlete, but we have to move. I could give you another whole hour presentation on the benefits of exercise. I swear I could. You know, we are made to move. Form a walking group. Do something. Get outside. Play a game of kickball. Pull a hamstring. Do something. Have some fun. And community. Where will we be without community? There's unity in the community and even in the word itself. Like, look at it. Like everything that we're trying to achieve is already out there. And if we move and move in purpose, we shall attract it. It's a be, do, have situation, guys. We learn how to be. We take that energy of being and we go do. Naturally, we're going to have. But the world flips it and does it backwards. You come out of that womb, go, get it, get it, get it, get it. Go do this, go do that. Achieve. So your doing is chaotic. And then we end up in the cubicle saying we need a passport, right? Because we never learned how to be. So flip the script, get real, be, do, and watch what you have. Watch how it shows up in abundance. I'm not kidding you. It's really that simple. So vulnerability, guys, we got to stay transparent. All of us have experienced some traumas and things that we don't like, unfortunate things that have happened to us. But that's love speaking to you. If you remain vulnerable and transparent in those moments, that's love trying to complete that circle and take you out of there. Unlearning is still learning. Guys, my dad was he's a retired mechanic and he managed a nightclub. My mom worked in a factory, sewing jeans, and she was heavily into the church. I used to go with my dad on Fridays, Saturday nights, and then go. My mom, she was like, "You can go, but you're gonna wake up and go with me too tomorrow, right?" That was the deal. So I was like, "Cool, I had the best of both worlds, right?" Long story short, I had to unlearn a lot of things that I saw. I really did, and I had to learn to communicate, like just respectfully communicate what I feel, you know? So transparency and vulnerability is great because that's love speaking to you. Have the courage to be you and listen to it. While love no ego, you can call it whatever you want. You can call it Toastmasters 38 District Love Zone, whatever you want. But we have to understand that doing the good work, doing good still works. It really works. And of course, we have our those goals of boosting the environment, and of course, we want to be healthy. We want support our well-being, as you can see on the screen there. We want personal happiness. team and community happiness. It promotes collaboration. It enhances our growth. Drop the ego. We don't need it. It's been a lot of lies over the years. We don't need it. Let love tell you what to do. Let love guide you, personally as well as professionally. You know, of course, we want to maximize the human experience. We want to establish a foundation that's not easily shaken by that egotistical world because it's not going to stop. It's just not going to stop. Right? Purpose, guys. Purpose helps you sleep at night and it wakes you up in the morning. Wow. 3:45 a.m., 7 days a week. That's what I do. You know, I'm next, I bet the next question for me is, what time do you go to bed? That's what people ask. I go to bed. I need to be horizontal by 9. I don't need to be asleep. I need to be horizontal, no nothing in my face, no phones and this and that, but I need to be horizontal, you know? And guys, I wake up, I just pop up. I'm ready to go. I'm excited about the day, you know? So purpose does that for you. It helps you sleep at night and it will definitely wake you up in the morning. So that purposeful living becomes purposeful working. That personal development becomes professional development. And again, when those two align, kudos. Now you're really getting into life. Life, what's been given you. Guys, here's a quick inspirational video. It's about a minute. And after this, I want to take some questions and see what you guys have. All right, let's see if this worked. We tested it earlier and it was working. Here we go.
Excuse me, we don't hear the audio, Freddie.
Okay. Let's see. I can hear it on my end. What I'll do, guys, is
You didn't share the audio, probably.
yeah. Advanced sharing options. I tell you what, guys, what I'll do is I'll send it to you, right? Because I want to make sure I get to your questions. And I'll give you a little rundown of that video. It was, let me stop it. There we go. After we had that little thing in Charlottesville, about Unite the Right rally or something, one of my friends reached out to me and said, man, I know you have Love No Ego. I want to do something good and positive. So I invited a lot of folks out to the park. And I just started talking and he started recording. And it's about a 1:20 video of me talking about the same message that I'm sharing with you guys. And my call to action for any and everybody, because I do the same for when I hear other speakers speak, I subscribe to what they have going on if it moves me, and I share it. That's it. So I just want you guys to maybe subscribe and share. There's MrLoveNoEgo.org and there's LoveNoEgo.org, the nonprofit 501c3. I also share all of my links with Michelle, and she can put them in the chat. I would get you guys email addresses, or you can reach out to me. I'll just shoot you one bulk email like, hey, do you need anything from me? Do you need the slides? Did you get the slides? Would you like a Love No Ego sticker? I don't know, you know? But I want to give us an opportunity to stay connected if we want to. And guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for making space for me today and hearing me and hearing this message. I'm trusting and praying that it helps us all show up as our best selves, gives us the confidence and the courage to be what's been actually given to you. What else do we want out of life, right? What else do we want? You know, you're happy, you're healthy, you're doing good work. What else do you want? All right, questions. What do we have?
Barat asked, when the sunrise is not visible due to rain, how do you spend your time instead of watching the sunrise?
Yeah, so it was raining a couple of days ago, I went to a local park and I sat underneath the pavilion and I had a blanket in the back of my car and I grabbed a blanket and I set it in the pavilion and I just sat there. And I kind of knew where the sun was. You know, you can still see some remnants of it and stuff, or see like, you know, how it's coming. And it's always in the east, of course, but that's what I did. Sometimes if it's pouring raining, I go to a local park where I can be underneath a pavilion of something. Sometimes I sit on my front porch, which has a roof. I don't always go somewhere. Although in most cases I do go somewhere. And you know, I have my books with me. I might read there. I might meditate a little bit. I spend some time with me and what I feel is keeping me alive.
Thanks, Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
When you go horizontal at 9 p.m., but you're not feeling sleepy, how do you get yourself to that point where you're actually relaxed and maybe falling asleep?
Mm-hmm. Good question. So I would do like sometimes I think about 3 exercises I can do, and it's very easy for me to think about it because I've been doing them for like 20 years, you know, personal trainer and whatnot, and around that industry a lot. I'll just do a straight 3, 4 stretches right there on the bed. Like you put your body in the condition that you want it to be in. I do 2 or 3 stretches. I lay horizontal. I put a pillow, a big fluffy pillow under my knees that allows your hips to fall because a lot of us have anterior tilts, exterior rotation going on. We sitting in cars, we're driving our foots over here, pushing this way for 20 years, you know? So we have to just kind of put ourselves in that space and think about the condition that we're trying to achieve and do our best to be it. It's not perfection. It's not going to be perfect, especially in the beginning. But placing those pillows under my knees allows my lower back and my hips to drop. I do a couple of stretches. I read a little bit at night, but I'm really specific about what I read at night because I don't want my brain thinking about the storyline. You know, I read something like that's really self-help, motivational, very relaxing. One of my go-to books, guys, Course in Miracles. If you've ever read that, it's A Course in Miracles. It's called. It's more on the Christianity side, but when you're operating in love, you see what it is without the judgment. You just embrace what it is, and you get what you need to get from it. That book is very, very humble and very relaxing. I might pick that up and read a really short chapter, which they have in that book. And it puts me in a space of, hmm. And I don't mind laying there if I'm not sleepy. Like I don't mind. Next thing I know, it's 3:45 a.m. Guys, here's another pivot phrase. Rest, wait a minute. Awakening comes from rest, not sleeping. Okay? Awakening, conscious, consciousness comes from rest. I don't need to be asleep, but I do need rest. You know, and I do rest again in the middle of my day or whatever. I might go down in the floor and do static back. Static back is an exercise that I shared with you guys in those documents that I shared with Michelle. It's called static back. You lay on this floor and you have your hips and your 290-degree angles from the back of your knees to your hips to the floor. Super relaxing. I'm talking about and energizing, like a cup of coffee. I get up, I'm ready to go. I'm like, it's a brand new day. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I woke up at 3 something this morning. You know, so rest. Awakening comes from rest, not just sleeping. And if you rest properly, when you do go to sleep, I guarantee you, 4 to 6 hours, you're ready to go again because you have rested.
Lou asks, do you take the happy scale day and night?
Do I take it?
Yes.
Yeah, I take it now about 3, 4 times a week. I do a little check-in. How happy am I? And I'm usually about a 9.5, and that 0.5 is usually something I can't change anyway. And then I realize it like, oh, okay, forget about it. I can't change that anyway. You know, it's usually something that you can't change. It's usually something that we are not taking responsibility for, and we're allowing somebody else to put that on us. Besides death and losing someone, I see that as like a potential, like, oh, that's tough. That's what do I do? You know, that's a challenge. But other people and talking about me or this and that, I lost this job or something, whatever. Okay, it's cool. I can deal with that. You know?
Great. Thank you, Freddie. It is 1 o'clock. I would like to let everybody know that if you need to jump off, you're more than welcome to leave. We thank you all for being here today. We will be sending out some information from Freddie. He is offering a free consultation if you're interested in that. And I put some connections to his social media in the chat, but we'll go ahead and email that out along with the recording from today. And I hope that you all enjoyed this session. We really appreciate you being here today, Freddie, and sharing your information with us. If you have taken a chance, taken some time and looked through the chat, it is overwhelmingly positive. They loved your session, and maybe in the future we can have you come back and do something to add on to this.
Yeah, that would be beautiful. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Oh, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm trusting that you'll just continue to show up as your best selves. We're all evolving. And as I always say, we have to allow love to do what it does because I think naturally that's what we are, you know? So thank you. Like, thank you for having me and choosing me to be here, you know?